you ever feel that the pursuit of more things, more achievements, more possessions leaves you feeling emptier than before? It's a common chase in our modern world, this hunger for accumulation. We're told it's the path to happiness, yet for many, it feels like a treadmill, always moving but never arriving at true contentment. This constant striving can be exhausting, can't it? What if the secret to genuine, lasting happiness wasn't about adding more to your life, but about understanding what truly matters? What if the key was found not in the marketplace, but within your own mind and heart? Today, we explore a timeless wisdom that offers a profound alternative to the endless chase for stuff, a path to a more serene and fulfilling existence. Our guide on this journey is Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who, despite unimaginable power and wealth, sought wisdom above all else. He wasn't just a ruler. He was a profound Stoic philosopher who grappled with the same questions we do: how to live a good life, how to find peace amidst chaos. His insights, penned over 1800 years ago, resonate powerfully today. Aurelius observed that external things, wealth, possessions, status, are fundamentally indifferent to our well-being. They are not inherently good or bad. It is our judgment, our perception of them, that colors our experience. This simple yet radical idea challenges the very foundation of our modern obsession with accumulating material goods as a source of happiness. He prompts us to ask, what is happiness truly? Is it a fleeting pleasure derived from a new purchase or something deeper, more resilient? The Stoics believed true happiness, or eudaimonia, is a state of flourishing that comes from living a life of virtue and reason, independent of the whims of fortune or the amount of stuff we own. Consider the nature of desire. When we constantly crave more stuff, we're often trying to fill an inner void with external things. Yet, this void can never be truly filled from the outside. Each new acquisition provides a temporary high, soon replaced by the desire for something else. It's a cycle that can leave us perpetually unsatisfied. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. He wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This shifts the focus dramatically. Instead of looking outwards for solutions, he directs us inwards to the quality of our thoughts and our inner character. This is where our true power lies. The pursuit of external possessions often comes with hidden costs. The time spent acquiring them, the anxiety of protecting them, the fear of losing them. These burdens can weigh heavily on our minds, distracting us from what truly enriches our lives: relationships, experiences, personal growth, and peace of mind. Aurelius emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. We can't always control our external circumstances, our wealth, or what others think. But we can control our responses, our judgments, our desires, and our actions. Happiness, then, becomes a product of our inner discipline. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, he reminds us. If our thoughts are constantly occupied with wanting more, with comparing ourselves to others, or with fearing loss, then unhappiness is inevitable, no matter how much stuff we accumulate. True wealth begins in the mind. Imagine a fortress. Many try to build their fortress of happiness with external things, a bigger house, a fancier car. But these outer walls are vulnerable. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to build an inner citadel, a fortress of virtue, reason, and contentment that no external event can breach. This inner citadel is built not with bricks and mortar, but with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, the core Stoic virtues. These are possessions that cannot be stolen, devalued, or lost. They are cultivated from within and provide a stable foundation for a genuinely happy life, irrespective of material wealth. So why do we chase stuff so relentlessly? Often, it's driven by societal pressure, by advertising that equates possessions with success and happiness. We internalize these messages, believing that acquiring more will elevate our status or fill a perceived lack. Recognizing this external influence is the first step to freeing ourselves. Marcus Aurelius encouraged a life of simplicity. Not necessarily poverty, but a conscious detachment from an overabundance of possessions. He understood that true freedom comes not from having more, but from wanting less. This simplicity allows space for what truly matters to flourish. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor, wrote Seneca, another Stoic, echoing a sentiment Aurelius shared. This redefines poverty and wealth. True poverty is an insatiable desire. True wealth is contentment with what one has, however modest. The constant pursuit of more stuff often leads to what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. We adapt to new levels of material comfort, and soon what once felt like a luxury becomes a necessity. The initial joy fades, and we're back to seeking the next thing to make us happy. How do we step off this treadmill? Aurelius would suggest by practicing gratitude for what we already have. Instead of focusing on what's missing, consciously appreciate the simple abundance around you. Your health, your relationships, the beauty of nature, the roof over your head. This shifts your perspective from lack to sufficiency. He also reminds us of the impermanence of all things. Possessions break, get lost, or are eventually left behind. Attaching our happiness to things that are inherently transient is a recipe for suffering. True contentment must be anchored to something more lasting, our inner character and our capacity for wisdom. Consider the mental space that possessions occupy. Not just the physical clutter, but the mental energy spent thinking about them, maintaining them, worrying about them. Simplifying our material lives can free up enormous mental resources for more meaningful pursuits, like learning, creating, or connecting with others. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world of immense luxury, yet he chose to focus on inner discipline. He wrote his meditations not as a grand philosophical treatise for others, but as personal reminders for his own conduct. This authenticity makes his wisdom particularly potent. He wasn't just preaching, he was living it. The Stoic idea of preferred indifference is useful here. Things like health, wealth, and reputation are preferred, but they are indifferent to our virtue and happiness. It's good to have them if possible, but our core well-being shouldn't depend on them. We can be happy with or without them if our inner state is sound. So the next time you feel the urge to acquire something new, pause and ask, am I seeking this for genuine need or to fill an emotional gap? Will this truly add lasting value to my life, or is it a fleeting distraction? This moment of reflection is a powerful tool. Aurelius taught that our desires should align with nature, with reason. Unnatural desires, those fueled by vanity or envy, are insatiable. Desires for what is truly essential, wisdom, peace of mind, strong relationships, are more easily satisfied and lead to genuine fulfillment. We often overestimate how much happiness a new possession will bring and underestimate our ability to adapt. That new gadget or piece of clothing provides a temporary thrill, but our baseline happiness quickly returns. This is the illusion of consumerism, promising lasting joy through temporary fixes. Instead of chasing stuff, Marcus Aurelius would encourage us to cultivate rich inner experiences. Read a profound book, engage in deep conversation, learn a new skill, spend time in nature, practice mindfulness. These activities nourish the soul in ways that material possessions never can. They build inner wealth. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This famous quote from Aurelius cuts to the chase. Instead of endlessly debating or desiring, take action. Focus on developing your character, on being kind, just, and wise in your daily interactions. This is where true value lies. The freedom from the tyranny of wanting more is immense. It's a lightness, a release from constant pressure and comparison. When you realize you already have enough, or that what you truly need isn't material, a profound sense of peace can emerge. This is the liberation Aurelius points towards. This doesn't mean rejecting all material comforts or living in forced austerity. It means developing a conscious relationship with stuff, owning things, but not being owned by them, using them, appreciating them but not deriving your core identity or happiness from them. Consider the legacy you want to leave. Will it be a collection of possessions or the impact you had on others, the wisdom you shared, the kindness you showed? Aurelius, an emperor, is remembered not for his empire's wealth, but for his enduring wisdom on how to live a virtuous life. One practical step is to regularly declutter not just your physical space, but your mental space. What beliefs about stuff are you holding onto? What desires are causing you stress? Letting go of these can be incredibly freeing, creating room for peace. Aurelius often reflected on the vastness of time and the smallness of individual concerns. Placed in this grand cosmic perspective, the urgent need for the latest gadget or fashion item often diminishes. Our anxieties about possessions seem less significant when viewed against eternity. He also stressed living in accordance with nature, both our own human nature as rational and social beings, and the nature of the universe. The relentless pursuit of artificial material desires often goes against our true nature, leading to disharmony and unhappiness. Remember, the things you own end up owning you. Their care, maintenance, and security demand your time and energy. By consciously choosing to own less, or to own only what is truly useful or beautiful, you reclaim that time and energy for more fulfilling activities. Focus on experiences over possessions. Travel, learning, meaningful connections, creative pursuits, these enrich your life in ways material goods cannot. Memories and personal growth are treasures that no one can take away, and they don't clutter your home. Ask yourself, what is enough? This is a deeply personal question. Society often tells us enough is always a little bit more than what we have. But Aurelius would guide us to find our own internal measure of sufficiency, based on reason and genuine need, not external pressures. The desire for status through possessions is a powerful illusion. True respect and admiration come from your character, your integrity, your kindness, not from the brand of your clothes or the size of your house. People may envy possessions, but they admire virtue. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius found joy in the fundamental gifts of existence. This perspective naturally reduces the craving for superfluous stuff. External validation through possessions is fleeting. The approval you get from owning something impressive quickly fades. Inner validation, the quiet satisfaction of living by your principles and cultivating your virtues, is a constant and reliable source of self-worth. Think of your mind as a garden. If you constantly plant seeds of desire for more stuff, you'll cultivate anxiety and dissatisfaction. If you plant seeds of gratitude, contentment, and wisdom, you'll cultivate peace and joy. You are the gardener of your own mind. The Stoics were not against enjoying pleasant things. They were against becoming attached to them or believing that happiness depends on them. Enjoy good fortune when it comes, but don't cling to it. Be prepared to let it go without losing your inner peace. When we focus on stuff, we often compare ourselves to others, what they have, what we lack. This comparison mind is a major source of unhappiness. Aurelius would advise us to focus on our own path, our own principles, and our own internal development, not on others' external possessions. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Similarly, the best way to counter the pressure of consumerism is not to desire what it promotes, but to cultivate a different set of values, simplicity, contentment, inner richness. Be unlike the dissatisfied consumer. Consider the energy invested in acquiring and maintaining possessions. Could that energy be better spent on self-improvement, on helping others, or on experiencing the world? Reallocating this finite resource, your energy, is a key to a more fulfilling life without needing more stuff. The Stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining losing what you have, can paradoxically increase your appreciation for it and reduce your fear of loss. By contemplating impermanence, You cherish the present more and become less attached to things. This is not pessimism, but a tool for gratitude. True abundance isn't about having a lot of things. It's about having what you need and deeply appreciating it. It's a feeling of fullness that comes from within, not from external accumulation. This is the shift in perspective that Aurelius offers. Our society often equates net worth with self-worth. Marcus Aurelius teaches that your true worth is measured by your character, your actions, and your inner state, not by your bank account or your possessions. This is a liberating truth. When you feel overwhelmed by the desire for more, try to identify the underlying need. Is it a need for security, for acceptance, for love? Often, stuff is a misguided attempt to meet these deeper, non-material needs. Addressing the true need directly is more effective. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. Aurelius understood that material empires crumble. What endures is wisdom, virtue, the human spirit. Focusing on these timeless qualities gives life a more stable meaning than chasing temporary stuff. Happiness derived from stuff is fragile because stuff itself is fragile and external to you. Happiness derived from inner virtue, from your reasoned choices and contentment, is robust because it's part of who you are, not what you have. Practice appreciating the simple pleasures. The warmth of the sun, a good conversation, the taste of fresh water, the silence of the early morning. These cost nothing, yet they can bring profound joy and contentment when we pay attention. This is available to everyone. Marcus Aurelius would advise us to be content with our allotted portion. This doesn't mean resignation to a bad fate, but acceptance of what is, focusing our energy on virtuous action within our present circumstances, rather than pining for what we don't have. The endless pursuit of more stuff is often a distraction from facing ourselves, our anxieties, or deeper existential questions. When we simplify our external lives, we create the space to turn inwards and engage with these more fundamental aspects of being human. Confine yourself to the present. This Stoic principle is key. Much anxiety about possessions relates to future fears, not having enough, or past regrets, missed opportunities. By focusing on the present moment and acting virtuously now, we find peace. The joy of creating something is often far more fulfilling than the joy of consuming something. Whether it's art, a meal, a garden, or a solution to a problem, the act of creation engages our higher faculties and provides lasting satisfaction. Detachment from outcomes is another Stoic lesson. Work diligently, act virtuously, but don't tie your happiness to a specific material result. Find satisfaction in the effort and the intention, regardless of whether you acquire the stuff you were aiming for. Our possessions often become extensions of our ego. I am what I own. Aurelius would challenge this identification. You are not your car, your house, or your clothes. You are a rational being capable of virtue and wisdom. Reclaim your identity from your stuff. The belief that if only I had X, I would be happy, is a persistent illusion. Marcus Aurelius knew that happiness isn't found by adding one more thing, but by cultivating an inner state that is content regardless of external conditions. The if-only game has no end. Consider the peace of mind that comes from not wanting. When desire ceases, even for a moment, there is a profound stillness and contentment. This is a state we can cultivate by appreciating what is, rather than yearning for what is not. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. This urgency and focus on the present encourages us to prioritize what truly matters: virtuous action, kindness, connection, over the trivial pursuit of more possessions. Generosity, the act of giving without expectation of return, often brings more joy than acquiring. Sharing what we have, whether material resources or our time and wisdom, connects us to others and enriches our own lives in profound ways. Don't let your possessions define your freedom. The more stuff you have, the more you are tied down by its maintenance, security, and insurance. Simplicity can be a pathway to greater freedom of movement, thought, and action. True self-sufficiency for Aurelius was internal. It's the ability to rely on your own reason, your own virtues, to navigate life's challenges and find contentment, regardless of external supports or possessions. This makes you resilient. The modern world bombards us with messages that we are not enough without certain products. Recognize this as marketing, not truth. You are enough. Your inherent worth is not dependent on what you buy or own. Embrace this empowering realization. What if you invested the same energy you put into acquiring stuff into cultivating your inner life, your wisdom, compassion, and tranquility? Imagine the richness that would blossom within you, a wealth far more valuable and enduring. One practical exercise. For a week before any non-essential purchase, ask yourself, will this truly enhance my life in a meaningful, lasting way, or is it a fleeting want? This simple pause can shift your habits and reveal how little stuff you actually need. The Roman emperor who slept on a hard pallet and wore simple clothes understood that comfort and luxury are not prerequisites for a good or happy life. His power came from his character, not his crown. His peace came from his philosophy, not his palace. The relief that comes from letting go of the need for more stuff is palpable. It's like setting down a heavy burden you didn't realize you were carrying. This lightness allows for more joy, more presence, and more authentic connection with life. So the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius isn't about ascetic deprivation. It's about intelligent living. It's about recognizing that our greatest treasures are not material but internal. Our capacity for reason, for virtue, for contentment, for love. These are the sources of true, enduring happiness. Cultivating this inner wealth takes practice. It means consciously choosing where to focus your attention, challenging your ingrained desires for stuff, and consistently prioritizing your inner state over external acquisitions. It's a journey, not a destination. In summary, you don't need more stuff to be happy because happiness is an inside job. It's a skill cultivated through wisdom, self-control, and gratitude. As Marcus Aurelius showed us, true fulfillment comes from the richness of our inner lives, not the abundance of our possessions. The next time the world tells you that you need more to be happy, remember this ancient wisdom. Pause. Look within. You may find that everything you truly need for a happy and meaningful life is already there, waiting to be acknowledged and cultivated. This isn't just philosophy. It's a practical path to a more peaceful, contented, and genuinely richer life. A life where your happiness isn't dependent on the next purchase, but on the enduring strength and beauty of your own character. Choose this path.